What's up, guys? You're watching Johnny Fabs, and today we're working on a 2018 Ford F-150. Today we're going to be replacing the front wheel bearing. Here's the part number for the Motorcraft. You could only get this at the dealership now, being so new. So we're going to be replacing that today. We can show you the sound and symptoms along mechanically, physically, and then along with the dash lights, because it did give an ABS air and then a couple other dash lights. So if you guys are experiencing the same problems, it could possibly be this hub assembly. So we're going to show you guys the symptoms, and then we're going to show you guys step by step on how to replace it. So I'm going to turn the key on, and then here's the errors that you get. Hill start assist, drive mode not available, service advanced track. The door's open, but then you have the ABS light, and this light here, the traction control. So that will come on. It'll disable your cruise control and a few other features. So that's what you'll get on the dash light, and then we're going to go outside and show you what it physically sounds like. So you're probably going to experience a howling sound coming from the bearing before it goes, and then once it starts to go, the actual bearing will disintegrate, and it'll get like a really rough grinding sound, like this sound, and it can be pretty violent, and you don't want it to lock up, especially with this being four-wheel drive. It could cause other issues with your driveline, so you want to take care of it before it completely locks up or self-destructs. So we're going to get into how to replace it right now. So the first step is going to be using your Ford, I think this is Ford, or it might be aftermarket, but taking your lug nuts off. So use your little tool, and then this takes a 20 millimeter socket, and then if you have an air ratchet or air impact, take these off, and then if you don't, use your 4-way to get the tire off. So the next step, after you get your wheel off, we're going to take your brake calipers off. So you could pull the caliper off, hang it up, and then you'll have to take your bracket off, or you can just take it off as a whole. There's two 13/16 bolts here, so you can break those loose. I already got this one loose. Back these out and get these out of your way. Once you get the bottom one off, you can get this top one loose. Once you got it loose, careful on this bleeder. You can get it all the way off. Once you get these two back bolts for the caliper bracket out, you can pull this off, slide it off, and then set this on the sway bar, and then we'll get a ratchet and strap it up. Once you got this caliper kind of tied back, supported, so you're not hurting your brake line, you can pull the rotor off, set that to the side. So the next step, you're going to have to unthread this right here. It's a 1/2-inch socket. So if you don't have an impact to break it loose, you're probably going to have to loosen that while you still have the wheel on. That way you can put the weight on it and it won't spin the axles. But if you have an impact, just go ahead and buzz it off like that. So once you get that 1/2-inch nut off, then you can undo the 4 18 millimeter is what fits best on the back of the hub and the back here. We're going to break those loose. There's two bolts on this side, and those are the 18 millimeter. And those pull out once you break them loose. And then there's two more on the other side. Before we pull this hub off, we need to pull the sensor out and unplug it. So there's 8 millimeter bolts on the side here. Undo those. And then it clips in here. And then there's a zip tie clip here. Pull them out. There's a zip tie on here, and then you have to go up and unplug it in the inner fender well. So if you pop your hood, look down by the brake master cylinder. There is a brown cable right there. So go ahead and unplug that, and then that'll be the rest of the sensor cable. So once you unplug your sensor, unroute it. And then your hub should come off. There you go. Removal is done. And we can show you the part number of the new one, and then go ahead and put it in. So once you get your new hub assembly in, fish this through the dust cover. Slide it over the axle. Line your 4 bolt holes on. And then you can use the bolts. These are the 18 millimeter. You thread those back in. Get all 4 started before you tighten them all down. So we just tightened the 4 18 millimeter bolts up, and then I'm going to run this ABS sensor. It comes taped up. Just undo the tape, cut it, however you want to do it. Rip it. Then route this up. Same process as taking it off. You have your 8 millimeter bolt on this bracket here. Thread that in. Tighten that down. Got your push Christmas tree. That goes right here. And then you can route your sensor up and plug that in from underneath the hood. Once you have the ABS sensor hooked up, you can put this 1/2 inch nut back on, tighten that down to the axle. And then we can put our rotor back on. And we can put our brake caliper back on. Undo the strap, put that back on, and then put those 13/16 bolts back in.
Yeah.
So after you tighten down those 13/16 bolts, should be good to go to put your wheel back on. Make sure it turns free, no brake bind. We're gonna put the tire on, and then put the lug nuts back on. Yep. So it looks like it spins good, no more noise. Looks like it's ready to go back on the road. So I think that's going to be it for this video on the 2018 F150 wheel bearing hub assembly change. For everyone wondering, this truck only has 20,000 miles on it, and this was the first change on it. This isn't the first time I heard of the wheel bearings. A guy at my work also had one done on his, and his was a 17 with 30,000 miles. So seems to be a common problem. But if you guys are getting that ABS light and all those weird stability track errors, it could be related to your ABS hubs, and it could be a sign that your wheel bearing is going to fail. So hopefully this video helped with the do-it-yourself changeover, and please hit that like button if it did, and please subscribe for more on these truck builds, and then I have some other builds, so go check out the channel, and peace.